Good day, everyone who could be watching the video right now or the live broadcast. I would just like to share my view on state capture and what I've investigated regarding state capture. I was deployed at Telkom Group, which is the business connection at the business connection subsidiary, where I was deployed as a senior engineer in a networks department. I've investigated everything that has caused the state to lose a lot of money, and I have given the state or the senior management within the enterprise all the necessary information to prosecute everyone who is involved in state capture. I've sent numerous emails to the CEO for them to come back and let me complete investigation regarding Vexor case that the state lost. All the cases or the accounts that were pushed out of the state entity were done because they knew very well that I was going to be deployed in a state entity. What I would like to know right now is that I question myself how come it has taken so long, more than a year, that the state has made any action to take place regarding the state capture. One of the things that I've done regarding investigation within the state entities is that I've compiled report and everything that the state need and send it to the CEO and within the Telkom group. The information that has been sent, the emails that have been sent to senior management, they should be retrieved and they should be handed over to the Telkom group executives. Jonas Bukhoshi, the CEO of Business Connection, he has everything in his position, and provided he's not dismissed or he's not been held capable of all the losses that the state has lost, then it shows very well that whoever is controlling state entities, he's part of those who are destroying state entities for wrong reasons. I'd like to elaborate on a few things that I've done during my time in the business connection. It took me about 13 days just to take the whole thing, just to investigate the root cause of our revenue losses. It took just 13 days, and I could see that everything that is caused by poor deployment. Everything has been sent to the Telkom group. And another thing that I just want to say regarding what is happening in South Africa is that everything has been dropped to help the less fortunate. It's impossible that what has happened in Telkom Group, and not just in Telkom Group, Eskom, the same thing has happened. At Vodacom was deployed there, and the same thing is happening as well. Vodacom has stolen a lot of money, and the CEO has to answer on that. All this information and publications has been on a public broadcast on the social media, whereby I stated very well what I've investigated, but no one has came up and said, okay, look, this is what we need to do, and this is how we're going to take everything forward. Another point I would like to raise regarding departments within South Africa. The police department, you make an escalation, no one takes care of you, or no one actually pays attention into it. I've escalated Telkom Group revenue loss in the Polokwane office, where I was actually worked out by Isma Hashule at Peter Mokaba Regional Office. And he did knew very well that someone would come in the office to escalate matters, because I've exhausted escalations within the Telkom group and no one listened to me. The first suspension that I was put on in 2019, it was done within hardly 13 days within the industry, within the company, and I was pushed out for a year. And they have been dismissing people within the Telkom group And all these people here, they've left with funds that they were paid, whereas they were not doing what they're supposed to do. What I want to do currently, what I am doing, I'm just briefing everyone, and the state has to come forward and actually investigate all of these things. Another point I would like to elaborate on is election results. After escalating matters within the ANC executive, Fikile Mbalula was part of it. He was there in Polokwane while I was there. I stayed for 5 days in my car, whereas I was expecting them to come forward and say, okay, look, this is how we're going to take this. And this happened before the elections this year, last year. Escalations happened in 2023, September. But no one has ever came back and said, okay, look, this is what has happened and this is what we are going to do. Right now, this is what is going to happen. I have also investigated the results of the elections last year. One of the matters that I've actually made it public on the social media is regarding the smart card system. Currently, the results that we see now as the results of the elections are completely wrong. I would say they're wrecked. And the reason why I'm saying that, we have a very serious concern regarding electoral system. A fully digital electoral system will be good for us to go forward and be used for the next elections when they take place. Provided this is not, no one is going to take escalations very serious. I have also escalated this in public platform to BRICS, because internally within South Africa, no one is actually taking care of what is happening right now. One of the things I can mention regarding the elections, where I'm saying that the elections are rigged. What happens is that we have another form of interference that happens mainly, is called the near field communication, which is actually used to steal from people not just votes, but it's a cell phone communication that causes a lot of interference, which would cause anyone to lose focus and affect them negatively. But what my aim right now is that we need to have fully digital electoral system that anyone who is using it can be able to verify that yes, he voted at a certain location, and all of this can be done digitally. We do have the platform. The only problem that we have currently in the country is that the infrastructure that we have, I have investigated a couple of them. We have towers that are there, but when you do analyzer testing on a tool that you have, it shows very well these towers are not configured correctly. But what is happening that has affected the country as a whole is that the poor deployment, it's exactly the same thing that it's affecting everyone. Another thing is that provided BRICS is not taking any action on this, then what is showing that very well that many African countries that are saying that to be in particular China is trying to take over Africa, they will be correct. But I beg to differ on that point, because I'm pretty aware that escalations that are made within Telkom Group, China has not, they must be having all those documents. A lot of things are not configured correctly, and no one is not really making any action. The SAPO infrastructure, which is the South African Postal Services, it has been having a lot of issues. I worked on the configurations on the infrastructure in the business connection group. I have seen how complicated or how complex the infrastructure is. Whoever has configured that infrastructure should be able to connect or deploy security measures which no one can be able to hack it, or to identify a person who have made mistake within the infrastructure. That has not been done on that network infrastructure. What I want to say, I cannot go on for a very long time, but I was dismissed in 2023 from the state infrastructure. I've made a lot of escalations, and a lot of people have been dismissed of what I've compiled within the group. I really want all my money to be paid in my account. I have been working day and night without being paid. I want all that money back. I want my money being paid to me. I have to get all of these things done. I've been working day and night without earning any money. Another thing is that Huawei have a lot of information infrastructure that is deployed, and this is something that is known to everyone. Huawei has been creating, or China or Asians have been creating a lot of devices for many companies, and all of these devices are working very well, and they've been sold at a very cheap price. The Huawei equipment it has been sold to Africans at a very reasonable price compared to any information or devices that are sold by any other company. But the reason here is that I'm just trying to raise my point that look, what is happening in South Africa right now is very wrong and it's affecting the less fortunate. When President Zuma said that, former president said that yes, the election are not precise, he has a point. One of the things is that escalations have been coming to head of states Matamela Ramaphosa for a very long time. The emails that I've sent with everything with the state capture reports that I've sent, they have to be escalated directly to BRICS. BRICS will take action on that because exactly what is happening now, everything is being swept under the carpet and nothing is going to help the less fortunate. That means that everyone's going to stay in poverty and nothing, justice will never take place until BRICS intervene on this. According to protocols of BRICS, is to eradicate unemployment and food security has to be secured. That's one of the things that BRICS is making. But now, provided none of this has been taking place or they are escalating or getting any of these things done, then it's very true that no one really takes care of what is happening within the country. One of the things that I've investigated on a Sunday is that we do have a lot of people in the country who have lost ID books or smart cards. Your smart cards recovery it should have been a thing of a home affairs whereby they can actually just say, okay, look, your smart card is recovered, come fetch it from a certain location. Another thing is that it is very clear that currently the smart card have about 5 users using the same smart card. So what happens is that it happens that you can have 5 people voting in different provinces with the same ID, but no one's going to be able to see all of these things. But the fully digital system will help eradicate all of these things. One of the things that I have to mention is that I've looked at a couple of things within the smart card system. I've lost about 3 smart cards, and none of them have been recovered. And another thing that I can say regarding smart card and IDs, the government should be actually be looking at something better to get it right. It has been going on for a very long time. President Zuma, one of the things regarding state capture is that President Zuma is one of the people who've been isolated. People who are working within state entities. Everyone who has been given responsibility to get everything right within, they all have to be prosecuted. And right now, none of them has been prosecuted and nothing is going right. And the reason why things are going the way they're going is because you get court cases that are postponed forever. And one of the reasons is because they don't have enough evidence to prosecute all of these people. I've making a point that look, I've made a lot of information, I've gathered a lot of evidence to prosecute Vexol. Vexol, when those accounts were pushing there, they knew very well that I was going to be deployed in a state entity. And what they did exactly what anyone would do. ICT sector, they knew who I was, and they did exactly what they did. They pushed account of the state entity. In any government outside America or anywhere, you cannot push accounts out like that, more especially if it's in state infrastructure. This is meant to help eradicate poverty and minimize unemployment. I've given or sent an email with everything to the state, and I've escalated everything to the parliament members, and none of them has come back and escalated. This is a message that has to go directly to BRICS, and BRICS have to take action. What is happening right now? The member of a BRICS, if it's under attack, BRICS will have to action. What we are seeing is very bad. I cannot go on for long, but as soon as the message is got, they know how to contact me. I really need all my money paid into my account. I've been working for over a year without being paid. I need all my money. In BRICS, there's a lot of work that needs to be done regarding securities in your members. And currently, you'll have to intervene regarding what is happening in South Africa. I thank you.